Starting the YouTube. Om. Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditarataschaर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् इमे ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं यं परं धर्मप्रोचितकैटगोत्रपरमो निर्मत्सराणां सता वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते परैरीश्वरः यो हृद्यवरुध्यते प्रकृतिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुक्त भागवतम् आलयं रसिकाः त्वं श्रीविभूषितकरान्नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बराधर्णवीतादघोषानेन्दुखादरं तत्त्वमहं न जाने मम परमहंसास्वादितचरणकमलचिन्मकरन्दाय जनमानसनिवासाय रामचन्द्राय Om, and thank you for joining. We had been studying the seventh canto of Bhagavatam, wherein we're looking at Prahlada Charita. Last time we saw the birth of Prahlada and also all his wonderful qualities. And of course, we didn't see all of them. What we saw was only a little taster given by Narada Muni. Because it's impossible to fully capture the greatness of Prahlada in words. I heard a beautiful thing the other day that Katha and the descriptions of Bhagwan's Bhaktas is Purnamada Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate. The more you express, the more you try to completely describe it, but still the whole thing remains unsaid also, because it is in. So that is the kind of person. Now he was growing up beautifully, very loving with his parents. Even Hiranyakashipu loved him very much. But now he reached the age of 5. It was time for him to go to school. And of course, the guru of the Asuras was Shukracharya. But he was involved more in higher education. And in his name, the institution was run by his sons Shanda and Amaraka. Prahlada was given admission there. And they started teaching him. Now, what were they teaching him? They were teaching him dharma. And by dharma, we don't just mean, do this and do that. This is your duty. Or, this is how you should live in the world. No. Dharma also means the essence of something, the truth, the reality of something. So all our sciences come under dharma, because science is the inquiry into the nature of things. So the nature of each object is described in science. The nature of the earth is described in geography. The nature of the stars and planets is described in astronomy and so on. So all these sciences come under dharma. Then they taught artha. Artha is how to take the knowledge of dharma and transform it into benefits for the whole society, to enrich everybody, not only financially, but in terms of quality of life, in terms of joy, in terms of fulfillment life. A healthy, rounded material life, a healthy society is the goal of. So that science, the technology of the application of the knowledge of dharma. And karma is how to find pleasure and joy in the various objects of life, how to give each person what they need in life in order to prosper, so the proper distribution of the benefits of artha comes under karma. This is my rough understanding of how education as a whole fits into the framework of dharma, artha, kama. And then, of course, moksha, the art of going beyond all this and finding lasting peace, true fulfillment, true joy in ourselves, that nobody teaches. Then also they didn't teach, now also they are not. And by caveat, Hiranyakashipu had abolished it. So now, by caveat, by fear. So Prahlada was sent to school. He was taught all this. He paid very good attention in class. He took the notes. He memorized everything. When they asked questions, he answered everything. But he didn't think it was very good. Na sadhu meaning. That is, he didn't think it was sadhu. The sadhu word is important here. It comes from the same root as sadhana. So sadhu, it means to accomplish something. So when something is a means towards a goal, then that is called sadhu. So something that is the means to attaining the highest is sadhu. And Prahlada thought this is not sadhu. Why? Because it's very basis, the most fundamental assumption at the root of all sciences, all economics, everything, all our material knowledge is the assumption that I am this body and others are those other bodies are other individuals. And there is me and there is the world. There is this separation. And that separation is, as we have seen repeatedly in our studies, not very real. It's only a projection of the mind. Only a figment of our imagination. And so, but since its very foundation is unreal, how can it be a means to reach the real? And so he learned it, studied it, everything as his duty, but he did not take it very seriously. He excelled in it. Because in Vyavahara, you have to work through Vyavahara using the tools of Vyavahara. For that, he was a master of that. That's why he went on to become a great king. But in terms of his own peace of mind, his own happiness, his own understanding of life in the world, he did not take this to be very real. So now he comes back after his first term at school. And Mother Kayatu dressed him up very nicely and all, and sent him to meet his father. And he went and climbed onto Hiranyakashipu's lap. Hiranyakashipu hugged him with lots of love. And said, Beta, what did you learn in school? But he didn't just say, what did you learn in school? He said, what did you learn that is sadhu? He used the same word. So Prahlada said, okay, you're asking the sadhu, I will tell you the real sadhu thing that, according to my understanding. Prahlada uvacha, no, Shri Prahlada uvacha, because Shri never leaves Prahlada, because Bhagavan is always in Prahlada's heart, Shri Devi is in Bhagavan's heart. So Shri is inseparable from Prahlada. Shri Prahlada uvacha, Tat sadhu manye suravarya dehinam sada samudvignatiyama sagraha hitva atmapatam grihamanta kupam vanam gato yat harimashrayeta. Hey, Asura warrior, greatest among Asuras. Why? He is the king of Asuras. Because he has achieved something that no other Asura has achieved. He has defeated the Devatas and become the master of Indraloka. Also because he has achieved something no other Asura has achieved. He has given birth to a child like Prahlada, the Mahabhagavata. But it's not just Asuravarya, because it can also be Suravarya. That Sadhumanye Suravarya Dehina or Asuravarya Dehi. So Suravarya, because he has conquered all the Devatas, therefore he is Suravarya. Because not even the Devatas had a child like Prahlada, therefore he is Suravarya. Sura also means the rishis, the sages, the bhaktas. Among them also he is the best. Why? He is a Dwarapala of Vaikuntha. He had Salokya, he had Samipya, he had Sarupya. Only Sayujya was missing. That also he is going to get shortly at the hands of Narasimha Bhagavan. He is going to die in Bhagavan's lap. Therefore, he is the greatest of bhaktas, of sadhus. Bhagavan is taking avatar in his own house. That didn't happen. He went to Nanda Baba and Yashoda. Bhagavan was born in the jail and then came here. Bhagavan is manifesting directly in his house. So, it's Suravarya. Tat sadhumanye Suravarya Dehinam. This dharma is for all who have a deha, a body, either gross body or at least a subtle body. We saw in Bhagavata Mahatmyam, even the Preta benefited from Ravana. So for all beings, and particularly those who are Sada Samudvignadhyam, whose minds are always agitated, always disturbed, always in fear, always in desire, always in sorrow, hunger, for such people, all of us. And what is the cause for their misery? What is the cause for that agitation and unhappiness? Asad grahat, holding on to or being held on by asad, the unreal. The unreal cannot hold us actually because it is unreal. But we hold on to it. We hold on to our illusions. We hold on to our wrong understanding. No matter how many times we are told, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are something far greater than all this. But we don't accept it. We like being the body. We like its comfort. We are in love with its likes and dislikes. We love its negativities. That's why we are not able to let them. We are holding on to it. We learn to let go. Moksha dwaram apavritam. The doors for liberation are always open to us. Why? Because we were never bound in the first place. What is binding us is our attachment, our sense of identification with the unreal. So he says, what is the path for such people? Chitva atmapatam. Give up that which is dragging you down, which is grihamandha kupam, this bottomless pit called household life. I'm coming, wait, don't get angry. Vanam gato, go to the forest. Yad harim ashrayeta, and take refuge in Bhagavan and meditate on him, attain. Now, this idea of griha and vana has to be understood properly, because it is not that you immediately tomorrow we should leave the house and go to the forest. There are no forests left. We have cut everything and built flats. But if we find a forest also, there is no guarantee that by going to forest we are going to find Bhagavan. We may find dacoits. There are so many examples. You may say, oh, rishis all used to go to the forest, but so many people who stayed at home and attained. Janaka Maharaja, prime example. Kabir Das, Nisargadatta Maharaj. What forest did they all go? And those who go to the forest as though all of them become enlightened, is not necessary. Not at all. We saw the story of Ajamila. As long as he was in the home, he was a very good, very, very sattvic, very noble person. The moment he went to the forest, he saw some gujals happening there and he totally got carried away and ended up becoming a dacoit. He became a crime lord. So it is clearly not the physical house and the physical forest that is talked about here. So griha means that which holds us, that which binds us, that which ties us down. It's a state of mind. No? The problem is in our mind. The solution also is in our mind. The house is not binding us, nor is the forest liberating us. So in our mind, that which holds us, anchors us to this false sense of I and mine, that is griham. And the state of mind that goes beyond that and seeks something higher is vanam. Vam means mangalam, shivam, auspiciousness, nayati. Vam nayati iti vanam. That which gives auspiciousness is vanam. That's state of mind which takes us towards something vaster, greater, more sacred in ourselves is vanam. Our obsession with the lower, our likes and dislikes is griham. Our longing, vanam means longing also, desire for the higher, for something more. In vana, there is ekanta, there is solitude. In griha, there is something or other. Griha means pulling, something or other, pulling your attention. Friends, family, relatives, work, stock market, UK politics, cell phone, if nothing else. So that is griha. Letting go of all those things that pull our attention, sitting in solitude with ourselves, looking within, communing with our own being is vana. And that is what I keep talking about when I say the Vrindavana of the heart. You have to enter the Vrindavan of the heart, and there is Bhagavan, and you go and fall at his feet, surrender to him, and that is the ultimate good for all creatures. Says Prahlada Hiranyakashipu started laughing. Then what nonsense has he learned? He has clearly got confused. He was not paying attention properly in the class. He called those teachers. He said, either he is not attending properly, or else maybe those devatas know they are trying some strategy and they have sent some spies into the school and they have taught some wrong things. So you just tighten up the security and take some remedial coaching and all for this boy and make him understand the real truth properly and then send him back. Oh, those guys were tensed up because this Hiranyakashipu was a cannibal. He might eat them up if he gets angry. They're like, Prada, who taught you all this? Prada says, nobody taught me. Who teaches you to love? Love is not something that is taught. It happens. Who teaches? Prahlada says, who teaches the iron to go towards the magnet? Doesn't it happen naturally? Like that, my heart flows towards Bhagavan. I can't explain it. If you can explain love, that love is not like love at all. Some kind of a transaction. Well, love is just spontaneous, natural, inexplicable. Anyway, so they tightened up the security, they punished him, scolded him, everything. And they started teaching him again Dharmartha Kama, Dharmartha Kama. He learned everything. They taught him Samadana, Bheda, Danda. He learned everything properly recited. They kept the half-yearly exam. He passed with 100% marks in all the subjects. Perfect report card. They said, okay, he's ready to go back. They took him back to Hiranyakashipu. Again, he nicely dressed up and all and went and did namaskaram to his father. पादयोः पतितं बालं प्रतिदन्त्यातिचासुरः परिष्वज्य चिरं दोर्भ्यां परमामापनिर्वृतिं. When he did namaskaram to his father. See, one thing on many kathas, people say for exaggeration or whatever, that, everybody told Prahlada to say Om Namo Hiranyaya, and he refused to say Om Namo Hiranyaya. He refused to bow down to his father, etc. Right? But that's not true. Every time he saw him, he did namaskaram, everything, because that was a dharma as a son. But that is not, Hiranyakashipu is the father of Prahlada, not for everybody. Therefore, therefore, we should not think that this is a common teaching. Also, for common teaching, he said everybody has to worship Narayana, not Hiranyakashipu. So anyway, Padayo Patitam Balam. That child fell at his feet. Hiranyakashipu lovingly picked him up, kept him on his lap, and stroked his hair and embraced him. And he says, Parama Mapa Nirvitan. Hiranyakashipu went into samadhi at the contact of Prahlada. Right? You think it's something strange, but just by saying Prahlada's name, so much of joy enters our heart. To see him, to hold him, to touch him and embrace him. How could even a Hiranyakashipu not go to samadhi? But the Leela has to go on. So Bhagavan nicely interrupted his samadhi and raised the question. Again, Hiranyakashipu asked, what did you learn in school? Prahlada thought, I already said. I already told you, no? So then thought maybe our father is asking again, because yes, I said you leave the Griha and enter the Vrindavan of the heart. Very nice. But what is the doorway? What is the portal through which to enter that space? How do I break out of my attachments and enter into a space of the transcendence? He says there are 9 pathways. This is the very important portion of this. The heart of Radha Charitram, and famous Navadha Bhakti. Prahlada Vacha, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhakti Chednava Lakshana Kriyate Bhagavatyadha Tanmayodhitamuttamam. He said the best thing I've learned Adhitamuttamam is to do this Navadha Bhakti and become one with Bhagavan. Tanmayo. What is the Navadha Bhakti? Shravanam first, what everybody there is doing, including me, listening Katha. If you can't listen, or if you have listened a lot and then that Katha is in you bursting to come out, then next step is Kirtana in his group. Then, if there's nobody to listen also, and maybe you don't have the words to speak, but Smarana, just remembering Bhagwan. Pada Sevanam, to directly worship his feet. So when we remember Bhagwan in the heart, we see him, we experience his presence, and then Acharya has given us so many beautiful Manasa pujas and all. That is all Pada Sevan. Then ritual puja, Archanam, doing Namaskara, Vandanam, serving Bhagavan, Dasyam, having a friendship with Bhagavan, Sakhyam, and finally becoming an offering at his feet, Atma Nivedana, making oneself prasadam given to him to swallow, to just merge with Bhagavan. These are the 9 types of bhakti. This can be described in detail for months on end. There's a beautiful shloka that gives examples of each, good pointers for us to contemplate. Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshita Bhavat Vayasaki Kirtane Prahlad Smarane Tadangri Bhajane Lakshmi Pratu Pujane Akrurasthabhivandane Vipatir Daset Sakyarjuna Sarva Svatva Nivedane Balirapu Krishna Aptiresham Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshita Bhavat. The best example for Shravana is Parikshit Raja, 7 days continuously without break. No eating, no drinking, no nothing. Only listen. That intensity of Shiv without feeling sleepy or tired or bored or anything. And not till his last breath, he didn't say enough. That was the quality of his Shravana. And Kirtanam, Of course, Vyasakhi Kirtane, the son of Vyasa Shuka, who was able to speak for those 7 days in that way so that Parikshit could listen, that is the greatest. Then for Smarana, who is Prahlada Smarana, my Prahlada is the example. Even sitting in Hiranyakashipu's lap, he felt Sada Govinda Pairamika. I am being embraced by Bhagavan. Prahlada Smarane. Tadangri Bhajane Lakshmi. For worshipping Bhagavan's feet, Lakshmi Devi. How she continuously, yuga after yuga, is massaging his feet. Prithu Pujane, Raja Prithu for Puja. How he took the whole world as a temple. All creatures as the Murti of Bhagavan and his actions as the flowers offered in worship. Prithu Pujan. Akruraha to Abhivandane. For doing Namaskara, you should do like Akrura. He didn't even wait to see Bhagavan. He saw one footprint of Krishna outside Vrindavana. He jumped down from his chariot, sudden break, he jumped down and did Namaskara and started rolling in the mud. This is the mud from my Krishna's feet. And for all that, he was Kamsa's messenger. Akruras to Abhivandane. Kapipati Dasi, for serving Bhagavan, what greater example than our Hanumanji? I don't even have to explain. Kapipati Dasi, and for friendship, Sakhe. He allowed Krishna to forget his own divinity and just live like a normal person and enjoy. That itself is such a great sign of friendship, that he could just be himself. Right? No need to maintain any image or anything. That would be himself. And Sarvasmatva Nivedane, to offer himself completely to Bhagavan. The example is Raja Bali, whose story we will see in the next canto. How Bhagavan Vamana took one step, covered the entire Bhuloka, 10 step covered the heavens, and asked, where should I keep the third step? And Raja Bali said, you have conquered the whole external world. Only one thing is left. My mind, you keep that third head. I am yours. He defeated Bhagavan himself. These are the greatest examples of attaining Bhagavan. This is the Navadha Bhakti. There's a beautiful text by Guruji. I'm trying to find it. If I get it, I'll share it in the group. It describes this Navadha Bhakti in detail, the different levels of each of these ways to enter the Vrindavan. Whatever works for each one of us, let us practice. Now, when he heard this, Hiranyakashipu got furious. He looked at Chandamarka. Chandamarka said, Ayyo, we are Govinda. What did you say? No, no, sorry, by mistake it came out. Association with Prahlada, they also started saying Bhagavan. No, no, please, please. We didn't do anything. We did our best. Somehow this fellow, I don't know, naturally this thing is there in him. We are not able to help it. Please don't eat us up. Hiranyakashipu said, this guy cannot be trained by education. It's time to kill him. And they started attacking. He sent his guys to attack. Prahlada is sitting happily, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. They are stabbing him. It's swords are attack, spears, tridents, everything. All the weapons were just falling to the floor. Prahlada is unmoved in meditation, smiling. It was like acupressure. Then they tried so many things. We all know the story. The elephant came and jumped on him, and he took it as a nice massage. He was put in the boiling oil. He said, every Sunday I want to have nice hot oil bath. Thank you, Appa. They gave poison. He drank it like Amritam and said, give me second round, please. They put him in the fire, in the ice, the wind, everything. He enjoyed like it was some amusement park. They threw him from a mountain. He thought, okay, nice. This is a Sharakamaram. What is it? Slide. He said, I want to go again on this slide. Nothing phased him. Hiranyakashipu was a big send. Finally, Chandamarka said, one more chance you give us. Send him. we'll keep him in solitary confinement or something, and somehow or other, we will imprison him there until Shukracharya comes back, because conveniently Shukracharya had gone for long leave, knowing that there's going to be some issue. So when Shukracharya comes back, then he will take care of it. They took him back to the school. What happened there, we will see in the next session, whenever that is, because we have to decide on a time that is more convenient for everybody. But meanwhile, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about my Yuntah Pravisya Mama Vacham Prasuttam Sanjeevayatyakhileshwaraswadam Anyanscha Hasta Charana Shravanat Vagadim Pranan Namo Bhagavate Ena Vacha Manasendriyeva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrite Swabhavat Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare का जीवन स्मरणं Om. Thank you all very much.